Well, this is me again, and I want to use the fall of New Spain again for another video as a parable unto you. This region over here was a periphery. It was highly militarized, but it was like a wild west scenario. The Kingdom of Guatemala was also considered a periphery, but was nevertheless quite wealthy. Florida was a kind of a periphery also. Now, when you look at it carefully, the places where the urbanization was the highest were also the places where most betrayal against Spain came from. Even though Spain invested a lot in these urban centers. Now, what am I showing to you here? Too often in your life, in your enterprise, in your business, or in whatever you have, you can be so distracted by external forces that are coming against you, or by the growth of the wicked around you, the so-called growth. The wicked never grow. The wicked only spread out like weeds, I mean. They spread out like unwanted plants. But that's all they do. But we see it as growth. But anyway, too often you can be distracted by external circumstances that you don't notice other stuff. I mean, instead of spending so much money on the military over here, and also over here, and in Florida, Spain better could have invested in the economy of Oregon and in the Californias, because this was also a neglected area. They should have become a country, but it never developed into a country. Now, the reason I'm pointing this out is because there are times the enemy will distract you. And he will distract you with a short-term victory, which is not really a victory at all. And this short-term victory, what I'm saying, this counterfeit victory that the enemy gives you, is to get you off guard. And while you're off guard, the enemy will sow seeds of discontent in your environment. And those seeds of discontent will grow. And from the inside, those seeds are, once they're growing, they'll bring forth a hold for the enemy inside of you, inside your affairs, inside your business, inside whatever you're doing. That's why it's very important to walk by faith and to remain in prayer. It's very important to remain in prayer. It's important to not only have discernment, but remain in prayer, especially. Because you can be distracted, okay? If it wasn't possible for you to be distracted, the enemy wouldn't put so much emphasis in getting you distracted. Sometimes a whole population will be distracted. An enemy who loves this when a whole population is distracted. Now, I'm taking my time to use history, in this case Spanish history, to teach you this. Do not be distracted by the expansion of external powers. Whether those powers are demonic spirits or whether it's people externally that don't like you and all of that. You deal with them in righteous judgment, that's true, but don't be so distracted by them. The enemy, to be effective, will always come through channels close to you, channels you are vulnerable to. So that's why have discernment in your relationships. Don't share everything with everyone. And when you have victories and good news happening to you, don't share good news with everyone. Okay? It's not just your progress that you need to look out for what you share about your progress. Don't just be careful about the information about your progress. Also the victories, the good things that happen to you, beware who you share them with. Because some people have seeds of discontent in them that the enemy places inside of them, and you sharing that good news may trigger those seeds of discontent. And and I'm saying that this emotional minds may go off. Sometimes you think you need to be delivered from external circumstance or external power or from wizards and witches out there. There are times you need to be delivered from certain people, certain relationships, certain comforts. Because listen what I'm saying. It doesn't matter how comfortable and loving and kind you are to certain people. Because there are some people who just will turn on you because they're so locked up in themselves. And because they're so locked up in themselves, Satan can easily use them against you. You don't have to go through what Christ went through with Judas. What Christ went through, he had to go through for our sake. You don't have to go through it. So agree with Christ.